The word Algonquin refers to over 20 languages that have been and continue to be spoken in present-day Canada, New England, and along the Atlantic coast of the United States. The Massachusetts and Nipmuc people, who have lived on this land long before Natick was founded, have unique languages of their own. These two languages have a lot in common, and they are both considered under the umbrella of Algonquin languages. For many generations, Algonquin languages were spoken languages. That meant they were not used to write, but instead used to speak. Algonquin speakers, like the Massachusetts and Nipmuc people who lived here, passed down their stories, histories, and knowledge to future generations by speaking to them, not by writing them in books. In the 1600s, some English people, like John Eliot, had Indigenous people teach them how to speak Algonquin languages, like the Massachusetts and Nipmuc languages. For John Eliot, who wanted to convert Indigenous people to Christianity, learning the language was important. John Eliot had two talented language teachers and translators to help him: Cockanoe, who was Montauk, a tribe near where New York City is today, and Jognossootun, who was Nipmuc. With their help, John Eliot was able to preach to and talk to Massachusetts and Nipmuc people in their own languages. John Eliot thought it would be easier to convert Native people to Christianity if they could read the Bible in their own language. The Bible is the sacred text that covers the primary teachings of Christianity. In order to create a Bible in an Algonquin language, however, Eliot would first need to assemble a team that could translate the Bible from English into a written form of an Algonquin language. Many Native people helped Eliot do this. They were called translators, and they knew English as well as Algonquin languages very well. They developed a way of capturing the sounds used in spoken Algonquin languages using letters from the English alphabet. The written form was phonetic, meaning it was spelled the same way it sounds. It took 10 years to translate and print the Algonquin Bible. A team of Native translators worked alongside John Eliot to make the project happen. This team included Jognossootun, John Sassamon, James Printer, Joel Iacoombs, and Caleb Chisholm. Printing the Bible was no easy task. It took a team of at least 3 printers working 12 to 13 hours every day on 2 printing presses, 3 years to get it done. We know that 2 Englishmen, Samuel Green and Marmaduke Johnson, and 1 Nipmuc man, James Printer, worked together on the printing. Together, they printed 1,000 copies of the Bible, and each of those copies had over 1,200 pages. The Bible was finished printing in 1663. These are pages from the Algonquin Bible. They've been scanned and digitized so people can look through the book from their homes. You can see that it looks like traditional English books published during the 1600s, however, the language looks a bit different. Printing in the 1600s was a tiring process. People who worked on the press placed tiny individual letter blocks in a frame to spell out each word on a page. Let's take a closer look at this page. Do you see any letters you don't recognize? This letter may be new to you. This letter showed up in printed Algonquin languages a lot. It told readers to make a sound a lot like 2 English O's right next to each other, like this, ooh. However, printers used the block for the number 8 and turned it sideways. This saved them time in assembling words letter by letter. Can you see the sideways 8? You may have seen other foreign language alphabets that have letters we don't see in English. Take Spanish, for example. You may have seen the Ñ before, an N with a tilde on top. In German, you may have seen the SZ. Another letter you may not recognize here is the long S. It looks a lot like an F in the printing style, however, it works just the same as a regular S. When you look closely at the title page of the Bible, you'll see 2 English names and 1 English word: John Eliot, Samuel Green, and Cambridge. John Eliot and Samuel Green are 2 of the Englishmen who worked on the Bible, and Cambridge is where it was printed, at Harvard College. Harvard is in Cambridge, a city right here in Massachusetts beside Boston. Are their names missing from the title page? Yes. None of the Massachusetts, Nipmuc, and other Native people who worked on translating and printing the Bible were given credit. Today, we recognize the work of Jognossootun, John Sassamon, James Printer, Joel Iacoombs, Caleb Chisholm, Cockanoe, and many other Native translators and printers whose work made the translated Algonquin Bible possible.